Next up, ready to rule, we have Niamh, who has one of my favourite titles of the day of I've Got the Power.
Tesco's.
Niamh, everybody.
Cool, fabulous. Can everyone hear me? Yeah, cool. Great. Hi, everyone. As Danielle said, I am Niamh Quigley. And today I'm going to be talking about Microsoft Power Platforms. In my talk, I've got the power. Firstly, I would like to thank Women Techmakers for giving me the opportunity to speak today. This is not my first time at a Women Techmakers event, but it is my first time speaking, so hopefully I don't throw up. So it was last year when I saw the kind of warm and welcoming atmosphere, and after some slight persistence from members of my team who took part last year, I decided to put myself forward and talk about my own tech passion. Yep, so a little bit about me first. Short and sweet, don't worry. I've actually been in this room a few times before, but more probably up around there in the corner. I did my undergraduate in biomedical science and my postgraduate in bioinformatics and computational genomics here at Queen's University. It was during my master's that I realised I really enjoy gaining insights from data and building patterns, but I don't necessarily like it in a biology context. And from this epiphany, I ended up at KPMG Ireland. I've been with KPMG about a year and a half now, and it was a small project within actually my first week at the company, which was building a proof of concept with the Power Apps front end that lit the fire for my passion for Power Platforms. And it was from this I moved on to another Power Apps project, and then took on a few Power Automate tasks. And slowly but surely, I ended up sitting in the room and advising on how to use Power Platforms for digital transformation. So what is Microsoft Power Platforms? Microsoft Power Platforms are a suite of low-code software applications for optimizing business processes. It involves Power BI, which is used to create interactive dashboards for understanding insights and making data-driven decisions. Power Apps, which allows users to create low, no-code applications for desktops and mobiles. It includes Power Automate, which will automate, as the name suggests, repetitive tasks and business processes, and also includes Power Virtual Agents, which is used to create chatbots to interact with users and answer routine questions for them. Today I will be focusing on Power Apps and Power Automate, as these are the tools that I would primarily work with in my day-to-day work. As I said before, Power Apps and Power Automate are classed as low or no code development solutions, as they are built using a language known as PowerFX. PowerFX is a language that was developed to be used across Microsoft Power Platforms. It is declarative and functional programming language which uses user-friendly text. Its class is low or no code, as it is simple and concise, and it contains similar formula and operators to spreadsheet-like formula. So this is probably one of my favorite parts of Microsoft Power Platform, in that after years of using Excel, I realized I can actually make some pretty sophisticated business solutions for digital transformation without really having to learn traditional coding languages. So starting with Microsoft Power Apps. Power Apps allows users to create custom applications with low to no code. There are two main types of Microsoft Power Apps. There are model-driven apps and canvas apps. Model-driven apps are data-driven apps, which are developed using data models which are housed in Microsoft Dataverse. Microsoft Dataverse is a cloud-based data management solution which is used across the Microsoft Power Platform. It is used to ensure that there are no redundant repeats across data tables. It houses extensive metadata for users. It can house business rules, workflows, and can help keep your data secure. It is used to develop model-driven apps, which have a consistent user experience across multiple devices, as they are built using components based on the data. They are more for business solutions, as they are built using the components and are much more. They are used more for data decision making compared to Canvas apps, which are much more about the intricate user design. Canvas apps are, as the name suggests, like a blank canvas. They use elements which are dragged and dropped onto the page, which are then customized using Power FX. There are multiple connectors that can be added to Microsoft Power Apps, such as Excel, SharePoint, Teams, Power BI. The list is endless. However, you do have to be conscious of which connectors are included within premium license and which are part of regular licenses. No, sorry. Sorry, I didn't click. It's okay, don't worry. So what I really like about Power Apps is how seamlessly it integrates across the Microsoft environment of an organization. With regular licenses, you can create simple applications with regular connectors that can be integrated as part of a Teams chat for ease of access for users in an organization. Or, and I have actually done this, which is quite nice, you can integrate it into a SharePoint site, which can be used with other applications and solutions as part of a much wider solution for an organization. What's also nice with Microsoft Power Apps is you can customize the user interface depending on the user that is accessing the application at that point in time. You can use connectors with Office 365, which will allow you to create specific roles which will allow you to use roles that are specific to your organization. For example, in KPMG, we have roles such as analyst, consultant, senior consultant. So maybe only a senior consultant needs to be able to edit the data, whereas analysts and consultants need to just view. You can set up conditions which are specific to these roles in your organizations using Office 365 as a connector. Power Automate is probably my favorite of the Power Apps and of the Power Platforms, and not just because it's really good at making business logic. It also makes my life a whole of a lot easier. We have extensive projects that come in and day out, and they need to be assigned to the right team within KPMG. There could be up to like 50 a week, and that is a lot of emails that need to be sent out. However, when a new project is added to the data, Power Automate will read the data and understand what team it needs to go to, and will send the email automatically, and there could be like 5 or 6 that are sent before I've even finished a cup of tea, which is lovely. There are 3 types of automate flows that can be made with Power Automate. There are cloud, desktop, and business process flows. Cloud flows include automated flows, like the example I gave there, which are triggered by an action in the background that is outside of Power Automate. So this could be when a new item is added to a data table, it will trigger the flow, or it could be integrated with your social media. So if your organization is mentioned on social media, this will trigger the flow and run a business process in the background. There are also desktop flows, which integrate on your desktop and web applications, and there are business process flows, which are predetermined steps that will guide a user for a consistent process. Much like Power Apps, there is a range of data connectors. There's obviously Microsoft 365, but there's also Dropbox and Google Drive. So no matter what the back end is for your business solution, there is a connector to help build that business logic with Power Automate. As I said, automate flows and instant flows can be integrated with Power Apps. So an automate flow can be triggered. No, sorry. An instant flow. Sorry, an instant flow can be triggered through Power Apps by assigning it to a button within the Power App. So for example, if there's data within your Power App that you would like to extract and maybe send to someone or to house in a different location, you can set up a Power Automate flow, which will be linked to a button. Click the button, create a document, and send or share to whoever you want to, whoever needs the data. There are many advantages with Microsoft Power Apps, or Power Platforms, sorry. It is a single source of business applications that can all be shared within one license. This is cost effective, and it means that it can seamlessly integrate with a lot of client solutions, as most of the time organizations are using Microsoft as like their basic software package. So it means that there's not a lot of additional licenses that are needed for this. It also means that you don't really need traditional programmers with this, and you can also empower clients to build and maintain these applications on site, which saves time in development. I forgot my place. Yes, the data is stored securely using InfoSec registered assessors program, certified Azure data centers, which is an industry standard for data security, and it ensures that the security and integrity is maintained in your data. Recently as well, Microsoft have launched Copilot, which means that clients are able to leverage AI in their development. So Microsoft Copilot, launched in February 2023, yes, is Microsoft's AI assistant, which has been built using large language models such as GPT-4. It can be integrated extensively across Microsoft Power Platforms. It can be used in guided app development, where users can input prompts and get guidance on the data tables that need to be used for the applications, or can give some help in building an effective user interface. It can be integrated with Power Automate to create automation flows and understand the business logic that needs to be applied to the situation. It can be used with Microsoft virtual agents to create more natural conversational flow for users, and can also learn to give more accurate and reliable responses for clients. It can also be integrated with AI Builder to build AI models, which can then be used to create Power Apps. Copilot can also be integrated across more traditional Microsoft applications such as Word, Excel, and Teams. You can use it to summarize and gain key findings from emails and documents, and it can also be used to then create visualizations and analyze data in Microsoft Excel. Here are a few resources to get you started. I'm very lucky in that I have access to Microsoft Learn through my company, but they are pretty extensive courses. I have a few listed here. There's the PL900, which is the Microsoft Power Platform Fundamentals. It gives a very high-level overview of all aspects of the Power Platform. There's also the PL400, which is Power Platform Developer Associate. This, much like this talk, it focuses on Power Automate and Power Apps and how these can be used for business solutions, and also has a little bit of guidance on JavaScript development to create custom components for Power Apps and Power Automate. There's also the Microsoft Power Platform Fundamental Consultant, which is a bit more in-depth and gives a good overview of how to properly deploy each of the Power Platforms for business solutions. If you don't have access to Microsoft Learn, there are also extensive courses on YouTube. Reza Durrani has never been able to not answer a question that I've had. I have been down rabbit holes of his videos on Power Platform development. He will upload demos and guidance on how to use Power Automate, Power Apps, and Power BI. There's also Lisa Crosby, who is focused on Power Apps development, and Kevin Strabert, who focuses on Microsoft as a whole, but has some really great videos on utilizing Power Automate. LinkedIn is also great for resources. There's Matt Devaney, who releases a blog every Monday. I love his cats. He always features them. They're lovely. And he will go through new releases of features and give demos and blogs, and is really about empowering others to use Power Platforms. There's also April Dunham, who's actually a Power Platform advocate for Microsoft, and again will release demos and provide guidance on new features that are coming out from Power Platform. Yeah, so that's me, folks. Thanks so much. I'm here with KPMG today. We have a stall outside, and we're running a little competition throughout the day. We'll announce the winner later today. So there's a Microsoft form through that little QR code there. You could win an Easter egg if you're lucky, or if I don't take it home, it looks class. And also, if anyone wants to follow me on LinkedIn, I'm there. I don't post that often, but you know, what can you do? And also, if anyone has questions, maybe not right now or later in the week, I am going to be here all day with KPMG, and I also have my personal email address there. So thanks, guys.